another board game review. Today we'll be reviewing Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, and
Okay.
yes, today we are here to tell you why you should play Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion. It's a more condensed version, a mass market friendlier version of the famous dungeon crawling game, and I'm here just to tell you about Jaws of the Lion, which I'm going to review as a standalone game, even though these contents can be used with the main Gloomhaven, but I have not done that, so I'm just going to review Jaws of the Lion as an independent product.
Make
Now,
sure not to give too much. This is a legacy.
well, no, this is not a legacy, it's a campaign game, so it has multiple missions which will have things evolve over time, but you're not ripping any cards, you're not changing anything permanently. So, and
I don't know what a campaign game is.
yeah, so campaign game you are having a progress. Many people do confuse them, but a campaign game also has a progress. But in a legacy game, you cannot reset it back. But in this one, you can reset things back and start from the beginning as well to play it again. The game by default comes with around 25 scenarios. Now, let's go into the concept of the game. Since I've given the introduction about the game, what the game is about. Now, this is a dungeon crawler, which means you will be moving in a confined space, killing baddies, getting loot, and making your escape. As simple as that concept. So you're going to be fighting, but it's a little bit more puzzly than that because this game, unlike any other dungeon crawler, does not come with dice. It comes with a deck of cards. Now, this deck of cards is going to be how you control your characters, and the game does come with 4 characters, so you can select based on what your preference is. These comes in beautiful boxes, and based on what your preference might be of a character, you can take these boxes and then assign take the related miniature as well. Now my minis are already painted, but by default in the game you will get the unpainted minis as well.
He's obsessed with painting minis.
Alright, so once you have selected your character, you will have a starting deck of cards, and then how you will be playing this game is that on your turn you will have access to all your cards that your character is allowed to take. So once you see your cards, there will be always 2 sections given on the card, and the top section is mainly for your attack actions, while the bottom section is mainly for movement type of actions. Of course, from card to card, the type of attack, the type of movement will vary, and that's what make these attacks unique. And they are given unique names which do make sense and make you think, okay, this is what I'm doing. So for example, the quick turnaround action of hatchet. So quick turnaround means you will attack and then you will turn around and then make another attack, or something like close cuts, you're attacking multiple enemies in your vicinity. Something like stopping power, it immobilizes your enemies. So things like that. So the name of the attack does match what's written on the card. But on your turn, from your hand of cards, you will be picking 2 cards, and one of them, which you will keep on the top, you will not reveal. This is a cooperative game, so you're all playing against the enemies on the board. So you will be
Even though
placing.
you can loot from your own.
Well, yeah, there will be slight competition because people might be trying to loot more money from the other. But in the end, since you cannot share, so everyone is trying to loot more money. But in overall, the game is still
You
cooperative.
keep looting from my mother.
Yes. All right. So the card on the top, there is a number in the middle, and that's going to decide your initiative. That means you're not taking turns. You're not saying, okay, go clockwise and everyone takes their turn. No, it doesn't happen like that. Based on your initiative, that player takes the turn. So let's say I have 25 initiative. Similarly, for all the other characters will reveal their card simultaneously. So if I have 25 and someone else has 50, so I have a higher initiative, I will be go first, and someone else will go later. And that depends on the more powerful attack, you need more time to prepare for those, so their initiative cards are lower down. Then similarly, the monsters also have their own personalized decks of what they are going to do. So you will flip them over as well, and they will have a number in the corner as well, which is going to tell their initiative order. So in this case, against my 25, they have a 21. So they are going to move even before me. So this particular type of enemy, each type of enemy is going to have their own deck, is going to move. So I will see what their card says. So
Dude,
let's
this
say
is
it
a
says,
detailed game.
so let's say it says move. So it will move based on the amount of spaces, based on the amount of stats it has, and then it's going to attack. So if it can attack, maybe if it's a ranged attack, then I will see, can its range reach me? Maybe you cannot see from that far away, but the map is broken into hexagonal shapes. So I will see if I can count that many spaces, and if I'm within the reach, he can attack me. But in this case, he failed to reach me. Then my turn. Now, once my turn comes, or any player's turn comes, then he has these four actions written on the card, but he can take only these two, and you are limited by, if you from one of the cards you take the action on the top, then from the other card you have to take the bottom action. So you cannot have two attacks, two top sections or two bottom sections. Let's say, for example, in this case, my card said move 3, so I might move 3 spaces, and then I had the close cuts, so I'm going to attack him. Now, let's come to the attacks. How I'm going to attack an enemy is that instead of dice, this game uses a deck of cards, which are the attack modifiers. Now, my character is going to have attack based on the value printed on the card, that how powerful this attack is. But it will be modified by these attack modifier cards. So I will flip up the top card on it. So in this case, it says +2. So whatever I was going to attack, it was a very successful attack. So let's say my attack power was 3. So it will become 3 plus 2, and I will be doing a 5 damage on it. And what you will be doing is taking some of these damage tokens up to 5 and putting it on the enemy card, that okay, to indicate that this enemy has taken this much damage.
Plus, can we just appreciate these little envelopes where you put the
Well, this is the only thing I don't appreciate about this game. Because if you see this, again, you will have multiple type of enemies, up to maximum of 4 type of enemies per game. And in this one, because you will have different enemies. So for example, these two are the same type of enemies in the game. One is numbered 3, and one is numbered 6. You cannot see from far away, but these are standees, but they have a number printed on them. So that tells me, and you will take them out randomly, that, and on the envelope also you will have the corresponding numbers. So I will put the damage token corresponding to number 3 if I had damaged the number 3 enemy or the number 6 enemy accordingly. And that's how I'm going to track. Now this is very fiddly mechanism, because I would have preferred any other easier way to track the damage. So you can find user-made apps for this on Google Play, iTunes, free apps where you can use to track the damage on the enemy. But if you don't,
record it down on paper.
you can record it on a paper. So some people don't want to use this, and that's fine, because this is the only thing which is a little bothersome, especially if you have multiple enemies.
I'll use it.
Damage tokens are going from one lined region to the other one.
Perhaps I could edit it a bit, make some stickers and put it on.
Okay, but the good thing about this is that if you look at the enemy cards, it has different sections, it's double-sided, and based on the skill that you are playing with, so you can upgrade your characters. It's a campaign game, so you can get better and better through the game. Yes, like that. And as you get better, the enemies improve as well. So even though it's the same enemy, you will see a number on the top about their skill level as well, and based on that skill level, you will select that side and put that in the envelope. And what it does is that once you put it in the envelope, then only that side is visible which is applicable to you, and the enemy stats, its movement, its health, its damage, attack power accordingly changes with your skills. So this is really the cool mechanism that the enemies upgrade with you. So you are not actually just getting powerful and powerful, even though you do get better and better cards as you upgrade and you get really powerful actions, but the enemies are becoming challenging as well. So that's a cool mechanism. Now, coming back to these attack modifiers. So it's very simple. As I told, you can move and then you can attack. Now, this attack modifier could have been easily done via dice as well. But why the designer actually chose to use cards is because these are getting upgraded as your character grows as well. So not only you're upgrading
You
your
don't upgrade dice. You don't paint on dices because all sides are already painted. You don't. It's just very hard to upgrade dice. Nonsense.
Yeah. So there can be upgradable dice, stickers, or removable faces, but still, one of the things that the problem with the dice is that every time you pick up the dice again and throw it again, it fully randomizes. Now, how the upgrade, we talked a little bit about upgrade. The each character in their box comes with their own unique upgrade cards, and the game will guide you when you will be taking more and more cards from these secret decks and add them to your hand.
We're not gonna show you now. You better
No.
discover it
Correct.
yourself.
So these are hidden. So only when the game allows you to actually look at them and take new cards from it and replace your existing one, so your actions become more and more powerful. And that's another exciting mechanism, because at the end of each mission you will be looking at, ooh, what did I get new? And from new things, I'll come to items, because the game does come with item shops. What's a good dungeon
Like
crawler if you cannot have cool weapons or armors or potions equipped? So the game does come
Where's the
with a
potion?
lot of items as well, which you can buy using that gold, and that's the main reason you're collecting that gold. You want to buy better equipment and use it to actually take these equipment. Of course, there is a limit to, you cannot wear two armors at the same time, so there is a limit to that. But you can sell old armor, get new one, better one, and
You can get
same applies to
goggles.
other things as well. Yeah, goggles as well. So that's overall the game. I've given you the concept. You will be moving around. The overall concept is very simple. Move around, kill enemies. If there are any certain objectives in the game, you have to complete those as well. And it's a very simple, if you like, fighting game, action, uh, as well as a little bit of puzzly thinking, that okay, I will move here, then what will the enemy do, and will the enemy attack me or move? Should I move later or should I move earlier than them? They are far away, I will let them move first, waste their attack, then I move and attack them. So that kind of puzzly thinking does go in this game. But one of the things that I really love about Jaws of the Lion, which is not present in the Big Brother, which is Gloomhaven, is this book. Now, what this book is, it replaces your standard map tiles. Normal board games comes with a board on which you play, or multiple tiles, modular tiles that you can connect to make a map. But this game comes with pre-printed booklet of maps. So all you need to do to go to a next mission, there is zero setup involved. Well, there is setup in other things, but at least for map, all you have to do is flip a page and you have a new map. You flip a page and then you have a new map.
Stop flipping pages. Don't ruin all the pages.
So, and these are expandable. How you expand them is that if the map is actually going to be bigger, then the cool thing is there is a supplemental booklet.
How many booklets are there in this game, actually?
So you will see the guide on it. You will take that specific page, flip it open, and connect it, and now you have even a bigger map available
Even though
to
it's
you.
gonna take up all of your table space.
So at least that makes the setup more easy. Some of the maps come with their own special rules, story which is directly printed on here, making things easy. The next thing I want to talk to you about is its rule books. Now, the game does come with a glossary booklet, and that's fine, but you don't have to read it, and that's the good thing. Because when you start playing, all you need to do is read about Learn to Play Guide. Now, this game has one of the most fantastic tutorial systems because it does not introduce each and everything from the very beginning. What it lets you do is in each missions, for up to 5 missions or 4 missions, I don't remember, but initial 5 missions, it will add a little bit new thing every time you play. So the first map will be very simple, then you flip a page, go to your next mission, and then it gives you new concept. Then you go to the next page, do the next mission, and then it tells you the rules for the next mission. And in this way, by the time you're done with your 5 missions in a little bit chunks, it has taught you all the mechanisms that you're going to encounter in the game, except the special map based rules. So you will know the complete game by playing it rather than getting bored at reading a 50-page manual. And that's again one of the good things about this game.
Have you ever read a 50-page manual?
Yes. There are many other things which I have not shown you. There are city events that happen at the end of mission, which gives you choices like a choose your own adventure, and different things can happen if you actually select based on that choice. It will give you a story, what happened, and then you get to choose, and accordingly, different things can happen. So the game has a lot of thematic sense to actually pull you into this world, which is very unique. This world of Gloomhaven is not your typical fantasy world. They have made a world of their own. Again, the highlight for me about this game was the card play because you are thinking over the decisions, especially when you have a bigger hand. As you keep going through the rounds, your deck gets slimmer and slimmer, and that represents your health as well. Because if you run out of your cards, your health is gone and you lose the game as well. So you're thinking when to waste a card to take a really powerful action or just use the minor action and preserve the card because you still have a long way to go. Those kind of decisions. Plus, I love the monsters in this game because unlike other dungeon crawlers, each
To
game
be honest,
you
I have
exactly know what the monsters are going to do. So, for example, you know if this was a standard monster, you always know it's a speed 2, it will move 2 and then attack. So, you can always plan against it. But in this one, enemies are completely unpredictable because they move with the card. So once a card opens, then you get to know they didn't even move this turn. They healed themselves or healed their teammate. Or sometimes you will open a card and then the enemy jumps at you and forces an attack on you which you were not even expecting. So things like that might happen as well.
To be honest, I'm also very surprised by the art style, and I mean, just look at this demolition. It's so colorful.
Yeah.
And
That-
I have never seen such monsters like this. Sure, some of them are very disgusting and ugly.
Yeah, they are disgusting and ugly and unique.
But
But that actually
am-
point brings me to one of the things I also don't like about this game. These cards, even though they are very practical, but I would have loved if these had the actions your character is going to do on them as well. So, for example,
Yeah, like
if
what is it? Like for example, if you're gonna swing your axe at the enemy, what is it gonna look like? Do you just look at me? Do you just do this or?
yeah, like this. So, for example, if you had this repeat shot, it would have been cool that there would have been a picture of him throwing an axe and then another axe, something like that. And with brutalize, he's putting his foot on the axe, going into the skull of an enemy, something like that, which would have made given these cards better look. So that's something I do
They look
miss,
so bland.
that these cards have text, symbols, but no pictures on them.
They look
Pictures
so
would have
bland.
pictures would have made it look more nicer.
They're
All right.
so bland.
Again, I've not covered everything. There are so many other things which it's not just move and attack. There are traps in the game in which you can fall, in which you can make your enemies fall. There are effects, you can get wounded, poison effects. You're collecting treasures, upgrading skills, so many cool things that are there in the game. But again, those are minor as compared to what I've given the concept to you. So if that kind of adventure is something that you like, then this is comes as a highly recommended game. 9 out of 10 for me. 1 point I'm deducting just for some of these minor component issues that I have. No pictures, bad management of enemy, damage tracking, things like that. But other than that, a really good game. All right, that's it. And happy gaming.
Happy gaming!